This is really, really nuts. And first of all, this happened at the end of April, but I want to ask you, have you ever been scammed before? It turns out that a lot of people have, including myself. I've been scammed for crypto before, but at least I have to thank myself. It wasn't for $330 million. An investigator on Twitter, ZachXBT, posted about a suspicious transaction shifting about 3,520 Bitcoin, making it one of the biggest crypto heists of all time. It's definitely in the top 10 towards the bottom. And so this person on Twitter, Zach, reported the victim was an elderly US citizen who was apparently socially engineered. And Cointelegraph reported that 3,000 of the funds, 3,000 Bitcoin of the funds had been sitting on account in 2017. They suspect the cybercriminal was a Somalian who was operating a scam call center out of the UK. There's not a lot of transparency, and you note that this theft address, he removed it. He actually edited the post and removed this. We'll talk about that later on. So what's interesting is how this Bitcoin was laundered. They used a number of different strategies, including sending the Bitcoin to instant exchanges and mixers, which make it really hard to track where the Bitcoin went next, or converted it simply into other currencies. They also took about half of that Bitcoin and converted it into Monero using atomic swaps and other decentralized exchanges. So there was so much Bitcoin being sold for Monero that it actually boosted the price of Monero up 50%, definitely one of the largest movements in the past few years, and Monero jumped to almost $400. Fortunately, it's back at its current price, so maybe buy in when you can. They also sent the Bitcoin through pre-registered centralized exchanges and trading desks. So this was a heist that was planned for a long time in the making, well organized and executed. So by the time I got around to covering the story, I saw what they had posted on Twitter, but I didn't want to just believe it for myself. So I am definitely not a professional Bitcoin investigator. Frankly, I'm just starting to learn this. But I will say I couldn't find, there were some inconsistencies about what they said. First of all, they said that this Bitcoin, at least 3,000 of it, had been on this one wallet since 2017. Well, that wasn't exactly the case. Here you can see, this is the heist address here. You can see it was funded from 4 different Bitcoin addresses. And then before that, the victim's wallet was actually made its last movement in March. So you can see here that the last movement happened in March, which funded it about 3,000 in Bitcoin. And before that, there was also some other movements going all the way back to 2019 and to 2017. So the question is, this doesn't appear to be an elderly person who had no idea what they were doing. There was some movement happening here. And it could be that their centralized exchange that they were working with, Coinbase or Binance, or if they had an account on those platforms, the way they handle your coins is a little bit different. They could be consolidating it, but it doesn't make sense. It's definitely not, it doesn't appear to be a non-custodial wallet, or if it is, then someone is lying about the story. So the question is, how did this Bitcoin actually get funded? Where did he buy it from? I wasn't able to trace it very far back, but you can see there are some interesting parties involved here for very small amounts of Bitcoins. Most of it came from unidentifiable addresses. So this is a reminder just to show you that Bitcoin is a public blockchain. You can track what's going on. And then here we're beginning to see what we call peeling, which is breaking up this massive $330 million pot into smaller segments. You can see 14 Bitcoin, 964. And there's also a timeline of how this is breaking down. Fortunately, let's see here. So this is the actual heist right here, and then within from the victim's wallet to actually being heisted was about a period of 30 minutes of time, and then over the next day, in about 12 hours, they had laundered all of the money. So that is really, really fast. Now, I'm not sure if there's more to uncover here, but it doesn't really match up with what people are reporting. The Bitcoin definitely wasn't sitting on one address since 2017. The takeaway is that when a random Bitcoin investigator says something on Twitter, just don't believe it off of face value. You need to do your own investigation and research, because you can. And maybe I will share a little bit more about how to do investigations like these. Let me know in the comments if that's what you want to hear. Also, another point is that atomic swaps were a really big part of how this heist, or the money in this heist, was laundered. So this is why the price of Monero went up 50%. So Monero helps cyber criminals once again. It's a testament to its power, but I'd really love to see it used for honest dealings. Maybe we'll see that in the future. Again, never hold your Bitcoin on an exchange. You can see the wacky things that they do. From your perspective, it might seem like your Bitcoins are in your account. They're actually moving across different wallets. And also, if you need a non-custodial wallet, I recommend Stack Wallet. Check them out. It handles Bitcoin, Monero, and other coins, and it's the wallet I recommend. Open source and private, of course.